Testing 1, 2, 3. Might as well get started. You feel me? Hey, how you guys doing? You guys doing all right? That's good. Let's uh let's get started. Just seeing all the stuff I got to do. Just clearing up a little bit. Clearing up a little things, you know. You know how it is. It's a little, where is right there. All right. So, to start off, welcome and thank you for joining. In case this is your first time, my name is Shell. And this is ShelShock. Podcasts normally talk about video games, and I have a segment where I talk about that's not related to video games. But to get started, normally at this point, I usually bring up the games I'm playing, but the games I'm playing has something to deal with as far as the main topic tonight. So I'm not gonna talk about what the games I'm playing right now. I'm just gonna say, bring it up gradually and whatnot. Bear with me. I'm trying to find this article I saw earlier, because I want to talk about it too. Let me see. Hmm. We can talk about that. But I hope you guys are having a good day. And we know what? We can go straight into I touch grass. It's a segment right now where I say I touch grass, meaning it has nothing to do with video games. It has to do everything with everyday life, and just what's going on outside the world of the video game industry. And today I want to talk about what just happened or transpired um, before the business day closed today. And I'm just gonna go right into it. Let's go with webcam, live screen. Um, Today the stock. We're gonna talk about the stock market. Basically, 1.9 trillion with a T, not a B, not an M, but with a T, was wiped out today. It became a seller's market today. Basically, it was almost a stock market crash, or you can even consider it a stock market crash. Yeah, it's really doing bad. So I'm pretty sure that there was some suicides on Wall Street today. It's got bad. It's gotten real bad. People are selling. Nobody's buying. It's almost like I want to say 2000 or even 2008, where the bubble burst. Well, the bubble did not only burst, the bubble just blew up the whole global market. So yeah, it's bad. It is bad today. So why should you be concerned about this? You didn't see anything on the news, or you don't care? Because it's very bad. It's a ripple effect. It's like dropping a rock into a river and then seeing how far the wave's going to go. You may not feel it right now, but trust me, that ripple is going to hit you. It's going to hit a lot of us. Hopefully, a lot of you are not affected, but yeah. And then also, crypto suffered the worst. Um, the worst crash since 2022 as Bitcoin struggles to hold on to 50,000. I have several friends and a couple people tell me about crypto, but yeah, this is bad too. Money is getting affected all over the place. Money is changing hands and money is getting converted into the digital coin. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully y'all guys are preparing because by 2030, the things that we're used to or normally used to um, the things that we're acclimated to, used or accustomed to, is no longer going to be here. You know what I'm saying? So this is my segment, which is called touching grass. And when I say that touching grass, because when gamers be beefed out on Twitter or whatnot, they always say, "Man, go outside and touch some grass." So I went outside and touched some grass and saw that the global market is suffering a stock market crash. So yeah, $1.9 trillion got wiped off the American stock market, and yeah, a lot of people not talking about it. I guess they don't affect them. Like I said again, you throw a rock into a river and it ripples or it creates waves. And just because this rock was thrown into the proverbial river today doesn't mean that you're not going to feel that wave soon. Hopefully you don't, but just be mindful. A lot of companies are going to lay off or fire people over this. And hopefully you and your family be safe. So yeah, um, we'll see. We'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. Speaking of firing, we got to talk about it, bro. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. All right. Um, we got to talk about it because it's a travesty what happened. It really is. What Bungie just did this past last week. It was just. Mm, mm, mm. And I just thought, you know what I'm saying, it's just they let go 200, and now the numbers keep skyrocketing. And yes, last week or on Friday it said 200 employees. Now it's saying 220. So yeah, um, I don't know. I mean, like well, back to what I was just saying, a ripple effect. This ripple effect, not just the stock market crashing today, but I'm just saying, as far as inflation, it's caused a major ripple effect, and a lot of companies are suffering. So it's all over the board. It's not just financial 400, 500 companies. It's also companies in the VGA. VGA stands for video game industry, and a lot of companies are suffering. And what happened to Bungie? Um, it's a shame. It shouldn't have happened. And then some people was like, why would Bungie do that? I thought the final shape, the expansion pack that they just came out, was a success. Why did Bungie lay off 200 people? And I'm gonna tell you, and this is why. This is why. This is why right here. Bungie was reportedly going to pull the trigger on layoffs regardless of the final shape success due to leadership underdeveloping on financial promises to Sony. And yeah, Bungie laid off 220 employees in a decision which, to put it lightly, has shaken the company. The impacted developers have already expressed their frustration, anger, and disappointment on social media, especially in the wake of claims that CEO Pete Partison spent $2.4 million on vintage vehicles over the past 2 years. So a lot of people, especially a lot of podcasters, video game influencers, and people that stream and whatnot, they're talking about Pete Parsons and why did Bungie do that? They assuming, just like I'm assuming or speculating, why Bungie did this, and how could Bungie let this happen, and why would they do this? I'm gonna tell you like this, for real. This you know This is a street. This is a, in my speculation. I'm not saying this happened, but in my speculation, this was a pimp move. This was exactly a pimp move. Let me explain. You're like, what do you mean it's a pimp move? Let me explain why this was a pimp move. Okay, we know that Bungie used to be under Activision, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna excuse my language, but let's put Bungie as the whore, and let's put Activision as the pimp. Activision was pimping. Suits is always gonna pimp you out. If your company did, Suits is always gonna pimp you out. So let's say Activision was the pimp and Bungie was the whore. The whore got enough courage to get from under the guide or the tutelage of the pimp and became their own thing. And then, as a pimp, people be like, oh, okay, you gonna see how it is out there, baby. You gonna see how hard it is out in these streets. You gonna come back to me. Oh, you gonna come back to me? And, like the whole be like, I ain't gonna never come back to you, baby. I'm gonna do my thing. You're like, all right, bitch. And then yeah, so Bungie went to do that thing. Bungie was out in them streets, saw that was a little bit hard, and so then Bungie was like, we need to partner up with somebody. We need somebody to have our back. So they went to another pimp, because that's what hoes do sometimes. They go from pimp to pimp, from pillar to post. You know what I'm saying? So they went to another pimp, and the other pimp was like, okay, baby, check it out. I'm not going to pimp you. You won't have to work for me, but I'm going to make sure you secure, baby. It's going to be all good. I'm going to treat you good. I ain't going to treat you like Activision. I'm going to treat you good. So they partner up with Sony. You know what I'm saying? And pimp, they always, throwing that game. They make the whole feel like she not getting pimped, but slowly and surely she getting pimped and she getting pimped. So, Bungie, fell through the okie doke. The pimp slid her some money, and then, the hoe was feeling good. So she went out and bought some vintage cars, and, trying to, thinking everything is good, but slowly and surely, little by little, the new pimp Sony was like, yeah, I almost got you. You're gonna fall for the okie doke. And bam, inflation hit. New hoe don't know how to balance, the hoe don't know how to balance her money. So she started, seeing red, because she out here splurging, going to Dubai and all this and that, and next she run out of money, so now she got to get rid of her employees. You know what I'm saying? So got rid of her employees. So Sony was like, don't worry about it, baby, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. Now you're gonna be under my wing. You're gonna be under my protection. And that's what basically just happened. Bungie went from one pimp to another pimp. They did partner up with Sony, but now they're gonna be in-house. They're gonna be in-house, like Sucker Punch and I forgot the other company, but yeah. So I think that's why I'm saying it's a pimp move. Sony knew what they was doing, and then Bungie was bringing out this money. So eventually they're going, their partnership is going to not falter due to Sony or to the Bungie. They're going, they'll let them feel themselves. Then they're going to buy them out, and then they're going to be an in-house. And that's what it is. That's what happened. It's I hope you like my pimping whole analogy, but also, let's say, business is war. I learned that when watching, I forgot that movie with Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. And he was like, business is war. And Japanese businessmen, they really be going to war. You know what I'm saying? So, Sony was just waiting his time. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked in like 3 months. Bungie be like, yeah, we're an in-house for Sony. We got bought out by Sony Studios. We are now an in-house developer for Sony, and it's gonna happen. It's not if it happens. It's a case of when now, and I hate to say it, but Bungie just got pimped out. They work in the street now. Now, with that being said, I feel sorry for all the employees that lost their job, and I don't, what I'm saying, because it's hard. It's hard to be a developer, a video game developer. Regardless of what's going on in the economy, it's hard being a video game developer. Like my family, they're like, you love video games so much. You love video games. Why don't you make your own video game? And honestly, quite frankly, I did wanted to make my own video games, but I saw from a young age how difficult it is. Like, case in point, you work for a company, a development company that makes a video game. You get paid like roughly, you work like 60, damn near 70 hours a week a week. You know what I'm saying? Basically, don't see your family. You're under the rigmarole of creating or developing or programming a game. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the suits, aka the pimps, the publishing company on your back. Stay on the senior developer's back, so it goes like a snow, downhill effect. So he's on you to hurry up to program this game. Meanwhile, you're in the back, like programming this game, and the next thing you know, the game comes out. It's a success. Let's say it's a triple A. You know what I'm saying? This game is making billions of dollars. Meanwhile, you're still making the same amount of money that you work at like a call center. But this is the game you developed. This is your idea. You understand? This is your idea. This is what you crafted from your imagination, and you don't get paid like that. It's just it's like with rappers. At least with rappers, it's like they sign a contract, they get an advance, they get this amount of money, but they got to make that money back for the company. But then at the same time, they can go on tour. If they become successful, they go on tour, and they can make that their own money. You know what I'm saying? Or basketball, athletes, yeah, they sign a contract and they got to perform, but the money they get, they can like buy like franchises, restaurants, and this and that, and then they can get their money on the back end, or they can, go into like process. But when it comes to video games, if you're like a lowly guy on the totem pole, or if you let's say your game becomes successful, like case in point, the only guy, like, honestly, quite frankly, what developers, I'm not saying companies, I'm saying who's your favorite developer personally. Who is your favorite developer? Like a person that created a game, you know what I'm saying, that regardless if they're indie, regardless if they work for a company, who's your favorite programmer / developer? You don't know them, right? You have no clue. You may have some, but you don't clue. The only ones that come to mind to me was Cliffy B, the creator of Gears of War. When he was at Epic, he came out. He created Gears of War, and the only reason why I know him is because he was very out there. He was like he made a name for himself with the game, and also he was out there, being very popular. You understand what I'm saying? He was a personality. He did what like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock did in WWF. Instead of getting buried, behind such and such and such, his personality shined out, and he was always on go and live, and that's what I know about Cliffy B. Another one would probably be Sean from Happy Games, but Happy Games is his thing. You know what I'm saying? The creator of No Man's Sky, and the reason why I know him and he's one of my favorite developer is because not only was it his company, it was an indie game at his company, and he's always out, and he's very active on Twitter. And he's always active. You hardly ever see him on videos, but you see him on Twitter all the time, and he's very personable, and he's always in depth with the audience. Another developer, one of my favorite developers, is Harada from Bandai Namco, the creator of Taken. He's another of my favorite developer because of his personality. I have yet to see him without his sunglasses on. And then, he even got t-shirts that says, "Don't ask me for shit." That's another popular developer out there. But other than that, who's your favorite developer? You probably don't even know the developer of your favorite game that you're playing right now. That's the thing. And that's why I always tell my peoples when they was like, "Why you ain't make a game? Why you make a game?" I could make a game. I could make a very good game, but it would hurt my soul. It would irk my soul to know that I made a triple A title that's making billions of dollars, and I'm still struggling paycheck to paycheck. That's why I love playing video games, and I always love talking about video games. That's my passion. Playing video games and talking about video games. Do I want to make a video game? I mean, eventually, maybe. I don't know. But I know, and I think I'm not going to do that. Now, my youngest son, whose birthday is Wednesday, he turns 18. He's making a video game, and it looks good. His video game looks good. I'm just going to install my tutelage to him. I told him he needs to start going to, video game developer seminars. He need to network if he want to make this game, make it successful. But don't sell your game out, and don't sell your soul to make this game come out. Keep grinding, and your game will come out. You can be the next Sean from Happy Games, who created No Man's Sky. So yeah, it's just It's a shame what Bungie, but back to what Bungie did. It's horrible that Bungie let those people go, but they're getting pimped out and they're going to get bought by Sony, and hopefully Marathon, the game that they first came out with, back on the Mac. That's look. I remember when Bungie first came out, people was like Halo. I was like Bungie. That's not their first game. Their very first game was Marathon, and Marathon came out on the Mac. And the only reason why I know that is because when I worked for MCI WorldCom in like 1999 to early 2000, in the very first year 2000, my team lead, he was talking about, yeah, you need to play this game called Marathon. I was like, who made it? Bungie. He's like, and then he was supposed to bring it in, but he forgot, so I never tried it. But he was like, yeah, Bungie is a real cool game. I mean, not Bungie. Marathon is a real cool game. And then that's when the Xbox was coming out, and then Bungie got all that money to make Halo. And then I was like, you want to try Halo? And he was like, yeah, I'll try that. And, you know, if the by the makers of Marathon, yeah, it's gonna be good. He tried Halo. He hated Halo, but he loved Marathon. Um, it's been about 24 years since the last time I talked to him, so I wonder how he feels about the new Marathon coming out. And then we'll see. Um, is it, and then not only that, not only Bungie, you know, the video game industry is becoming stagnant. Okay, this has a lot to do with the pandemic, COVID, you know, COVID pandemic. It also has to do with inflation now. Not a lot of developers are not really making good games, and everybody's panicking because you know the publishers are losing money, like EA, Activision. Everybody's losing money, and the game. You know, I even see some podcasts of people saying gaming is boring. Um, Games are not gaming anymore. It's not fun to have games. And then, you know, I was like, you know, when I was saw that, I was like, what are you talking about? I play games all day, you know, games all the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's new games coming out and I'm enjoying gaming. I don't know what y'all going through, but now this last week, you know, thanks to one YouTube influencer I saw, I kind of got his point. His name is Black Hokage. I've been following him for years, and he's a good guy. He's a real cool, chill dude, and he said something that made me start thinking. He was like, you know, all you he'll go off on the Xbox. I call him Xbox. He go off on system loyalists, aka fanboys. You know, console fanboys. You know, it doesn't matter if it's PC, Xbox, Nintendo, or PlayStation. You know, he called a PlayStation ponies. He called, you know, me and him call Xbox users Xbots. Nintendo. I don't forget what is his nickname for Nintendo, and I forgot his name. What PC users is. So he's equal opportunist like me. We go, you know, we both go off on people that can. But he did say one thing. He was like, a lot of you gamers are not buying games, and you wonder why, you know, developers are not creating new games. And I agree with him to that point to a certain degree. But then I think I realized that was like, you know, I'm a gamer. I'm always gonna game, and if the game come out and it's good, I'm gonna buy it. But I noticed like my game library. So I was like, let me look at my game library, and I'm gonna bring that up right now, just to say a couple things. Um, Hold on, I'm gonna bring that up right now, just to show you. Okay, I do play mostly. If I had to break it in 100%, right? I play on my PlayStation, and I play on PlayStation 5, and I play on my PC. All right, if it was 100%, I would say 80% PlayStation 5, 20% on my PC. I don't touch my Switch, and I haven't turned on my Xbox Series X in God knows when. Okay, but to show you this, what I'm talking about. Okay, this is my PlayStation. This is my PlayStation 5 main screen. These are the games I play. Now the first four, one, two, three, four, I play daily. Okay, Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6, Apex Legends, and No Man's Sky. Okay, these are the games I play daily. Yes, I play like 3, 4 days, but we've been eating it. It's good. It's good. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, the Elden Ring, the Elden Ring got me in a chokehold. Ever since the DLC came out, So before the DLC came out and before No Man's Sky expansion came out, the two games I was playing was Street Fighter 6 and Apex Legends on a daily. Okay. But Elden Ring came out, it has me on a chokehold. I've been playing that like regardless. But Elden Ring came out 2 years ago. The DLC just came out like a month and a half ago. Okay. Street Fighter 6 is a year old. That game came out on June 6th of 2023. And it's a year old. Okay. Apex Legends came out in 2018. It's a live service game, so of course it keeps it up with new updates and whatnot. Actually, a new season starts tomorrow. But it still came out in 2018. So it's about 4 years old. Okay. No Man's Sky. Let me explain something to you about No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky came out in 2016. All right. No Man's Sky, when it came out, before it came out, it was showing that it was going to be a good game. And I was like, all for it. It's going to be like Star Trek. I'm going to play the hell out of it. And it was lackluster when it first came out. I gave it like 3 months of playing that game, and that game was horrible. So I sold it. I had a physical copy. I sold it to GameStop. Okay. 8 months later, they said it was coming out with an update. And I was like, oh, the update is going to look good. It looks like they're working on it. So I went back to GameStop, bought another physical copy. I bought that physical copy for $16. $16, maybe a week and a half before the update came out. $16. Do you feel me? $16. That's how bad that game was. The update came out, changed everything. It's been rolling ever since. But here's the thing: when the update came out, and I guess the people were buying the game again, it was like 2 days after the update came out. I went to try to GameStop to see how much a used copy. This is a used copy. The used copy I bought was $16. I went to try to buy a used copy again. It went automatically back up to $40. I was like, wow. So, but ever since then, from 2016 or the end of 2016, the beginning of 2017 till now, this game has been phenomenal. Every update, and these updates are free. These are updates. If there's one award at the Video Game Awards or the DICE Awards that need to be given out, comeback game of the decade is No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is amazing by far. It's like one of my favorite games. I mean, it has come a long way, bro. It has come a long way, and it's a stand-up phenomenal game. If you haven't played it, I suggest you play it. And it's, me being a hardcore gamer, some hardcore gamers, when I'm a competitive hardcore gamer. So for a gamer like me who competes online and offline in tournaments, the way that we find a peace, or is like, we'll play another game to calm our nerves, to get away from the sweats in like BRs, first person shooters or fighting games. And No Man's Sky is another game like that. It's very relaxing, very calming. So if I'm having a tilt session with Apex, or I'm losing match after match in Street Fighter, I'll play, No Man's Sky to, calm my nerves. It's very relaxing. So, but yeah, those are the 4 games I play daily. Overwatch, if you know me, when Overwatch came out in 2016, I used to play this game every day. I mean, I used to play Overwatch like I play Apex every day. Some strange reason, it just died on me, so I'm not even interested in Overwatch anymore. But as you can see, it's still up here. I'll play, the only reason why I turned this on was to try the new character that was under beta, or that was showing off. Other than that, but Overwatch is 2016, so that's another 9-year game. Destiny 2, I played Destiny 2 religiously from 2014. That's a 10-year game. Monster Hunter World, I love Monster Hunter World. I used to play that game every day religiously. I still play it from time to time. So that came out in 2016. That's another 8-year game. You see the point? What I'm saying? All these games that I play daily or weekly are like 6, 7, 8, 9 plus years old. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I'll still buy new games. Like, what game is coming out? I'm gonna see about the next game that's coming out soon is Star Wars Outlaws. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna try it. But is it gonna be in my daily rotation? Probably until I beat it. We'll see. But these games, like I said, a lot of these games are old, and a lot of games are just, I'm having fun with older games, and a lot of people are having fun with older games. and that's the state of the. I mean, 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, when games was coming out back to back to back, you weren't playing like older games. You would play them every once in a while, but you weren't playing them daily. That's my point, and that's how you know that the video game industry is in a state of downsizing, or a state of jeopardy of crashing again. A lot of you were not. Let me go full screen because I want to explain this to you. A lot of you were not alive for the second gaming crash. The video game industry crashed in the early 70s, like the late 70s, and it crashed again in 1983. Okay. A lot of y'all were not born yet, or a lot of you that have never seen the video game crash. It's a sad state, especially if you're a gamer. I was born during the first video game crash, which was 76. So 75, 1975 to 79 was a video game crash. I mean, and he was like, what do you mean it was a video game crash? There was a lot, there weren't no video games out. There was video games out. It was just not as popular. I mean, you had Pong, you had a couple games, and the arcades was suffering. And then Atari came out in 1979. I was 3 years old. So Atari came out and saved the video game industry. So that was the first crash, all right? And Atari was doing wonders and doing numbers in the video games, and then people were getting interested in video games again, so then they went to the arcades. Then E.T. came out. This is like early 80s. Empire Strikes Back, E.T., bunch of Goonies, a bunch of 80s movies came out, but the video game crash was on it again because of the E.T. game, the E.T. game, the horrible Pac-Man game came out, and then video games was about to crash again. And Atari, even though it saved it, it was also preparing it for a demise. Then Nintendo came out with the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, and Nintendo saved the video game industry for crashing and going away, and it survived all these years until like the early 90s. Well, video games was always, because the consoles was at home. The consoles was doing well. It was the arcades. The arcades was starting to crash in 91, 92. And then that's when Capcom came out with Street Fighter, which revitalized the arcades. And arcades was back again because of fighting games. And then fast forward to now, everything outside of video games is crashing. So of course, if everything outside is crashing and people are panicking and people can't even buy butter or sugar or milk, they don't have time to play video games. So of course, video games is suffering from that as far as the video game industry. So people is like, look, man, I'm trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? We're on the cusp of a global world war. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. People don't want to talk about it. We're on the cusp of and if you live in America, we're on the cusp of a civil war. People don't want to talk about it, but I mean, it's out there. The proof is in the pudding. You have people, I don't even talk politics or religion, but I can't go anywhere, Walmart, Walgreens, my job, anywhere where people are talking about the election, talking about Biden, talking about Kamala Harris, talking about Trump, talking about his running mate. Yeah. And people are like, they're not just talking. People are like upset and like, well, I'm standing way over here. Well, I'm standing over there. So yeah, stop trying to push stuff on the rug. It's rough out here in these streets. And it's not looking like it's going to be easy in the next couple months, not years, couple months. So just be safe out here. That's all I'm going to say. But all that, like I said, ripple effect. If stuff is happening in your reality, in your world, outside of video games, of course it's going to affect your video game play time. How you going to sit down and enjoy video games when you can't feed yourself? How you going to sit down and play video games when you can't even turn your water on to take a shower or bathe your kids? Yeah, that's something to think about. But I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but I'm still sit up here. I'm still be live. I'm still talk, because I like playing video games. Fortunate to be able to have electricity. I'm fortunate to sit here and entertain you guys, even if you don't want. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But um, what else we could talk about? Oh yeah, and then Game Informer. Did I mention Game Informer? Game Informer, the magazine that came out where every time you go to GameStop and they always have a magazine. They're like, "Do you want a subscription to Game Informer?" Game Informer finally closed up shop. They're done. No more Game Informer magazines at GameStop. No more Game Informer online. Um, let's see here. Let me see if I can still go to the website. Ah, dang! Look at this. Yeah, their website is done. Yeah, man, they're done. The final level, farewell from Game Informer. After 33 years, thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insight from the ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. Dang, man. You know the funny thing is, I went from liking Game Informer to not caring about Game Informer to hating Game Informer to loving Game Informer to just being indifferent for Game Informer, and now it's gone. And now it's like, dang, we were cool. You have that friend in high school. You're cool. You're all right. You're all right. You're not indifferent, but you're like, yeah, he was cool. But then you find some bad news that they may got locked up or worse, and you're like, damn, really? And you're like, dang. And then you start thinking about the good times you had with that friend. The same thing with Game Informer. You know, the good times. Well, we had some good times. They had some good articles. They had some good pictures with their articles, but I'll never forgive them for their best fighting game characters. They top tens, what they did with the fighting game characters. I was like, man, yeah, y'all not fighting gamers, fan. Y'all not fighting gamers. So no, that's one bad thing I can say about Game Informer. But we don't talk ill of the dead. You know what I'm saying? But it's a shame. Like the world is changing. I remember when EGM closed up shop. Remember Electronic Gaming Monthly? I remember when they closed up shop. I was kind of sad, kind of pissed too, because EGM, it's like every week I had to get an EGM magazine every week. I remember when Die Hard Game Fan, when Die Hard. Now look, maybe y'all too young, but let me just explain this right quick. At one point, before going to the arcade, back in the early, no, in the mid '90s, there was three magazines I had to get from off the newsstand. It was Die Hard Game Fan, Nintendo Power, and EGM. And the way that they hey, what's up, Tim? We're moving, so I was going through my old games, found a bunch of PlayStation Underground copies. Yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, back in the day, those three magazines had to get those three magazines. Now, Nintendo Power was always Nintendo Power. It was always, they didn't really care about no beef or none of that. But EGM and Die Hard Game Fan, they was beefing so bad. Die Hard Game Fan in their weekly magazines, they had a comment where they were going against EGM, and it was, they really didn't name EGM, but they just had them like a bull in a suit, like a bipedal bull in a suit, and he was like, they was going against them every week to do numbers. That comic book strip and they Die Hard Game Fan was hilarious. And then I always wondered how EGM felt about it, and then one day EGM put up a big old one page of that bull and then said, "This is our infamous leader." I was like, the beef, it was fun, but it didn't really get like serious. But it was like the back and forth camaraderie between EGM and Diehard Game Fan was hilarious. And every week I would tune in to see how they would get back with each other. It was almost to the point where Nintendo and Sega was having that little beef they were having. It was hilarious. Hold on, let me see if I can find a Diehard Game Fan magazine. It's just to show y'all what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they're yeah, this here it is. Look at this. Yeah, Die Hard Game Fan. This magazine was amazing. The guy with the blue with the face, that was like I forgot his name. I forgot what his name was, but yeah, he would lead his so called quote unquote Avengers against EGM. And yeah, just this magazine, used to dude, talk about I had all these. This right here, this one right here, this one with Doom in his screen, I still got that magazine. I don't know where it's at right now, but I know this was like my favorite magazine. You know, this was my favorite issue. You know why this was my favorite issue? This one right here, because they had all the move sets for King of Fighters '94. Right here. This one right here, this magazine, and this is the magazine I used to take to my local arcade Wizards every day to do the special moves for King of Fighter characters. I remember that. I specifically kept this. Now, was it in mint condition? No, but I'm pretty sure I still got this magazine somewhere. Let me see what else. I had all these mags. This one too. This is my second favorite one because they had all the moves for the Killer Instinct, and especially the ultimates. And this is their final issue. I remember having that, but I remember throwing that away. I don't know why, but yeah. The Earthworm Jim issue, I had that one. It's somewhere around. I don't know if I still got it, but I had that. I kept that one for a long time. I kept the Killer Instinct one for a long time. Yeah. So yeah, I remember that. Now let me see. Um, EGM. Oh, they call it Game Center now. I don't know about that. Let's go. EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly. I remember having this. This one, this one with Fabio on the cover. I still think I got that one too. I gotta find it. I know I got this one. This was the very first EGM Monthly magazine I bought right here with Fabio on the cover. This one right here, I know I got this one somewhere. This one came out September October 1989. I know I got this magazine somewhere. But yeah, EGM. Look how dated these magazines are. Jesus Christ! I still got both of these. Well, I don't have them, but I know I bought these two. I didn't buy this one. I bought the Sega one. Dang, this is bringing me back, bro. Yes, these two. Yeah, issue 31, issue 31, issue 32. Yes, especially issue 31. 31, yeah, and then issue 33. Let me explain something about issue 33. Issue 33, I know I got that somewhere too. But issue 33 is the reason why I bought Super Street Fighter 2 for the Super NES, and I didn't even have an NES. I didn't even have a Super NES, but I spent $70. My grandmother gave me, look, okay, I gotta show you my face. Hold on. I gotta show you my face. I gotta show you, because this is an interesting story. This is an interesting story. At that time, I didn't have a job. 92, I was 15, so I couldn't have a job. So I got my money from my grandparents. That's when I got my gaming from grandparents. You know, from my grandparents and my grand aunt. And I remember that winter of 92, no, 91. The winter of 91, I went, what is it? I shoveled snow. I had my grandmother bought me I had a Sega, I had a Genesis. My friend had a Super Nintendo. Okay. I still had a Genesis. I had a bootleg, well, I had somebody else's NES. Super Nintendo was came out. I couldn't afford a Super Nintendo because I was 15. But I would go to the arcade to play Street Fighter 2 and Fatal Fury. That winter of December, no, the winter of 91, I shoveled snow so I can get a TurboGrafx 16. Got a TurboGrafx 16, and since the games for TurboGrafx 16 was only like $20, it wasn't nothing for me to shovel some snow and get a TurboGrafx 16 game. So I was TurboGrafx 16 through and through. But I was like, oh, they're coming out with Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo. I gotta get a Super Nintendo. I remember my grandmother gave me some money. I went to Target. Or no, I went to Toys R Us. I went to Toys R Us. I bought me Street Fighter 2 for the Super NES. Didn't even have a Super Nintendo. And I had like 3 friends that had Super Nintendos. And I was the man because I would come over. Yeah, I shoveled a lot of snow to get a TurboGrafx 16 back in the day. But nah, I would go over to my friend's house and bring over Street Fighter or let them borrow it. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that a lot. And then yeah, what else? Oh, Sonic 2. When Sonic 2 came out, was great. Like all these like I think I got derailed, but I don't care. This is bringing back history. Hold on. Sorry. Just coming over a cold, so yeah, this is bringing back memories. Yeah, so dang, number 51. I remember that Super Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 2, NBA Jam. Oh yeah, Eternal Champions. Remember that too. This is bringing back, but yeah, this magazine, Electronic Gaming Monthly. Like I said, yeah, Electronic Gaming Monthly, diehard game fan, and then Nintendo Power. Just man, those were the days. But now you don't have that. Game Informer is done. I mean, you got websites like I don't even know Destructoid is still around, but you got Kotaku, you got PC Gamer. What are that? You got Gaming Radar. I haven't been on Gaming Radar in a long time. Um, the Gamer, VG 24/7, of course IGN, and then you got Eurogamer. You got Rock Paper Shotgun. I haven't seen Rock Paper Shotgun in a minute, but it's just that those websites don't hit like they used, like getting your magazine, your monthly magazine. I don't know. Well, I hate to cut this short, but I got a cold, and me talking this much has aggravated my cold. So I'm gonna take some cough medicine and try to do some rest. So my shout out, I want to shout out my family. I want to shout out my wife with her sexy self. And then I think she was at the door. That's why I said it like that. And then I want to shout out you guys. Thank you for tuning in and spending some time with me on Monday night. And then that's about it. As you can see, The cold is coming. I got to get rid of this. I got to blow my nose, get rid of whatever's in my throat. Yeah, she in earshot. She heard it. She probably blushing. Women, they be right by the door listening, you know. But yeah, y'all have a good evening. Hopefully my evening turns out better because this just came upon me. Eyes watering. Whew, not good. I'll talk to you guys later. My voice changing.